Hello guys and welcome in today's video. Today we're going to be discussing, Ethereum and Bitcoin, and then we're going to have a market overview towards the end, just kind of looking at what's going on for the day. Now, if you haven't already, subscribe, drop a comment, and click that bell icon and help us support the channel. All right, Ethereum as of right now is trading at 1,583. Now, if you look at the screen, you can see that I have already kind of indicated that it's still in the bear market, and you don't need me really to tell you that, right? So taking a look a little bit deeper, we are always discussing when the market is going to kind of come back to those really pivotal moments and those really big market changes or those market structures, and we're talking about that now. Now we're kind of going back and forth into that right now. So 1,540 is kind of that real. It's really going to be that moment where, if you notice, we kind of hit this moment a few times, being the fact that it is the support level. But there's some major moments that's come in, like this big drop back in September. Retouched that. It actually we went below that, but I think it closed at the end of the day around 1548. The same thing back again, another big dive down. It was just kind of pushed through back on the October the 9th. That kind of happened as well. And we had those big pushes coming back. The thing that we're looking at right now, though, is somewhere to kind of see the light of day. Are we going to see really $2,000 come back out of Ethereum? And that's kind of the big question. Well, right now, because we're trading under the 200-day EMA, we can kind of go ahead and say, well, we're in the bear market, but it can push back through. Now, the last major market structure that we had that kind of pushed back in was back, let's see, the 23rd of June was like when we kind of made that big push when we were really low, right? So those couple of days we kind of made a big jump. It really kind of started on the 16th, and throughout that week it jumped and finally came back around $1,900. And right now, we're kind of pushing back down. Now, if we kind of like look really closely, and I'm in the day graph here, but the day time frame, we're starting to kind of come back in. Does that mean anything? No, it doesn't. It really doesn't, because we also started to come back in here and we touched back down. But what I'm saying is you can't look at it in this way. Are we going to touch 1655? Yeah, we'll definitely touch that moment, because that's our next area where we need to kind of come back up to, and we're going to see some resistance. You can see, man, the resistance here, the fighting back and forth. There's right now everybody, and we're coming in the winter, that crypto winter too, right? Everybody is coming in and nobody is sure. The stuff that's going on with Israel right now, the stuff that's happening, of course, with Ukraine and Russia. So all of this is kind of like affecting prices. People are jumping to buy gold. They're not really too worried about, or they're not too focused, let's call it focused, on anything crypto at the moment. They're kind of waiting to see what's happened, because I know that a lot of friends of mine, they liquidated their crypto, they went and bought gold, when they're jumping to oil, and then they turn around and sell it anyways for cash, right? So they're just trying to have something a little bit tangible in hands at the moment. But it's not that they're going forever. It's just one of that. And what that's doing, and really essentially what that's doing, it's creating this dip in the market just for now. But it will pump back up, because, of course, once everything, and it will finally come back to, it will start to pump. There's no forever winter, right? So even if you're Jon Snow and winter's coming, but it will come back up. But that's what we have. Now, the next area is what we're going to see, some pushback 1594. And of course, the only ones that really make sense to even talk about is around 1650 to look at. Even if we're going to jump for the last 4 hours, the 4 hours is just grim, of course. The last day is just grim. But even if we go and we jump forward to the week, also it's going down, but you can see that it's actually some buying is getting some momentum here. So there's just a lot of selling pressure, and that's where that's coming from. It's not, you have to think, even the dollar jump, but there's also the de-dollarization kind of coming on. Everything's just kind of in turmoil over the last week, and you'll expect to see that kind of wind back down and people start returning to the market. So once the hysteria and the different cortisol levels start to kind of relax a little bit. It's very common. Bitcoin, the same thing here. Bitcoin's actually really stronger though. Bitcoin's at 27,589, and we have it kind of going into a range a little bit, which is a lot better when we compare. We had some good moments pushing up from September. The thing is too is not a lot of volume is happening, right? But when we look at the 200-day EMA, we have that we're actually trying to cross it. Now, once we cross it, a lot of investors, a lot of traders are going to see that moment, and they're going to expect to see it really pump and jump a little bit more. Because when they say it's an entering opportunity, because you typically when it does cross, and we'll just kind of like come, you see a huge jump, right? So like when he got here, it got closer and closer, more and more people. What drove this actually coming up was that it was getting closer and closer to this EMA. And once, of course, it broke past, it started buying. And then people were scared, so they sold. And then we had this kind of come up, and we had these swing moments. But it will happen again. And that's what you're going to see shortly too. Now, let's see right here, we have our resistance level. Our strong support level is around 25,000, which is not really bad for Bitcoin. It's not the greatest, but it's not really bad. A strong resistance level is around 29,300. That's where we want to be. But it is very possible to reach that very soon. Think of it back like in August when we had this big buy-in push. Again, also it's getting closer and closer to coming back in. Of course, they got it right here as well. People got nervous, sold, so forth, so on. But here we're getting closer. People are selling, thinking it's just going to drop down. It's going to reverse. But I really believe it's going to push up forward and even more. The same thing for the weekly. Weekly is also devastating for crypto. Now, you can see the selling pressure is pushing. It could go down if we're looking at the weekly. But I like to kind of go by the day to kind of see what's going on more so. But we'll get to the point where we're around 28 and we'll see some selling pressure coming in. But we just need enough buyers to really push in. Now, even the volume level, the volume is much better compared to Ethereum in that manner, and most cryptos. So Bitcoin is one of those coins that they stay on top of as far as the volume goes. Only so rarely does it, like for example, like here, a little bit, there was some kind of like dullness coming in, but there was still money to be made. Overall, crypto for the day, right? Bitcoin down by 1.2%, Ethereum down by 3%. We have XRP 3.9, Solana is down by 5.3, TRX 2, Cardano is down by 2.4%, Litecoin 2.8. It's bloody. Okay, it's bloody. All right, so Link 4.5, Matic, so forth. If we look at the week, also it's not so bad, but it's not so great either. Ethereum is down by 5, XRP, Solana is by 6.4. And again, the week is kind of started already, and you have to think, don't allow the emotion to kind of get you. But what's going on is the fact that so much conflict is happening. That's really what's happening right now. And so everybody's a little bit nervous. But this is what's causing the entire market to kind of feel this, and this is what you're seeing. So if it's just one coin, for example, and it's really starting to crash, then you have a moment. But what this shows us, when you see multiple coins kind of taking these hits, it's really about the exponent factors, the external factors kind of happening here, like the news, for example, like any market reacts, right? So this is what we have. That's all for today's video. Do subscribe, drop a comment, let me know what you think, and I will see you next time.